So folks, what are we doing this morning? Well, this is my L200 and had a little bit of a problem with her after all that time spent rebuilding the engine. Took her for MOT. She sat on the MOT ramp, guys doing the MOT, engine goes bang. I have no idea what bang means yet, but we've got a few hours before it starts to rain. I can't get the truck inside because it doesn't run and it's too heavy for me to push on my own. So we're going to do a bit of investigation and just try and figure out where we go from here with her. So I guess we just get started. Let's do it. Well, I guess the first good news is there's no big holes. There's no crankshafts hanging out of the cylinder block that I can see. And there's not like there's pools of oil or antifreeze anywhere. Let's have a... Yep, she's absolutely full up of water. So I can't say it isn't a head gasket problem, but what I can say is right now it doesn't look to be a breach between a cylinder or an oilway and a waterway. So that's good. I have had intercooler pipes blow off other vehicles. They can make quite a bang, but this all looks good and solid. All connections are made, nothing hanging off. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get this plastic cover off, because what that will allow me to do is have a look at where the cam belt runs. I think, lucky me, if the cam belt goes on this particular engine, and this is a 4D56 engine, there is enough clearance between the top of the pistons and the valves that if a valve is open, chances are it won't smash it to pieces, which means that this could just be a simple cam belt and retime. Of course, it could also be a lot more damaged than that, but there's no point pissing and moaning about it. Just got to set up the camera, get a spanner in my hand, get that cover off and see if A, the cam belt's gone. If it hasn't gone, check to see if we're still in timing. Okay, so I'm going to reposition you and we'll crack on. Okay, so I know this isn't possibly the best shot, but beggars can't be choosers, and I think I should be able to show you enough. Yeah, there's always one. Apart from on this engine, I think there's going to be quite a lot. Actually, it's not the worst chop to work on. I kind of wonder if that's because Mitsubishi knew that you'd have to spend a lot of time working on it. Sorry, Mitsubishi. You really did make a sack of crap here. I would love to be able to find a decent alternative engine, because I think if I could have put my BMW 6-cylinder engine in this, it would be a barnstorming vehicle. You know, you'd never want to drive anything else, because the truck itself drives really nicely. If I remember rightly, I need to pull this off to get onto that. Now, because I've never had the bottom pulley off, because I've always managed to work on the engine without the need to take the bottom pulley off, I've never had the bottom timing cover off. And I believe that there is also balance belts on this, 2 balance shafts. So if it is the cam belt, I will probably strip all this, take the radiator out, intercooler will come off, all this gubbins here, all the belts and everything again, and put myself a complete set of belts on the front, just because I would never sell a vehicle that's been bodged. And a lot of people might think that's pretty strange, but I think if you start doing tricks like that, it's just bad karma in my view. God knows what I did to deserve this. I think it might have been that I lied when I bought a motorbike. I didn't really need it as much as I made out I did. Well, that's the first revelation. That's the second revelation. Oh no. Well, I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. Right, okay, I'm going to turn you off, reposition you so I can show you what's happened. So, it's a little bit difficult to see, but here. So the head of the cam bolt that holds the cam pulley on has sheared, and in doing so it's also sheared the pin. Okay. Okie dokes. So the best thing I can do now, because obviously I'm fighting weather here, get the intercooler off, disconnect the battery for safety sakes, and see if I can get the cam cover off, which I'm pretty sure I can, whilst all this lot's in situ. Undo the cam, get the cam out. I'm going to take it in and get it machined. By the looks, the pin that holds the pulley that's also sheared is a replaceable item, so I'll take the whole lot into towers, explain what's gone on, and let the guy do his magic. So first things first, let's get that battery disconnected. Spent a bit of money on a new battery on this. They're bloody expensive, and I got a big battery so it had some power. And of course the last thing I want to do is short out that big battery. And I should have bought a cap to go over that. There you go. And there we are. So I'll get something to cover the engine up with. Ooh, that doesn't look very good. I wonder, looking at that, if we've had a front bearing cap seize. I haven't got a cloth on me. Well, that looks to me like the camshaft seized, and I can see telltale signs on the cam. And that's weird. Why would the camshaft seize? Right guys, look, not sure what's going on with this at all. I need to do some research, I need to ask some mates, so I'm going to turn the camera off, get a bag over the engine, and we shall retire to the workshop, have a brew and try and figure out what the hell's gone on. Well, we're back inside out of the cold, and I think it's time to bring you around here and let's have a close look at the camshaft, and then I can give you what I believe is a reasonable explanation of what's happened. Okay, so you can get a better look of the situation here. So, although you can't see them, the other cam bearings and the camshaft on the other bearing surfaces looks fine. Okay, the nose bearing does not look fine. So you can see all the scoring. This is probably a build-up of aluminium. You can see where the aluminium's been stripped here, and you might also be able to see it looks like the oilway's blocked. Now, at this point in time, I don't know if the oilway was blocked, oil didn't get through, bang, or if the aluminium that's been chewed off the bearing has built up and blocked that hole. But I think the very fact that it's seized means something untoward's gone on. So what we're going to do, flip the shaft, take the bolt out, take the cap out, and let's have a look. If it's blocked into the camshaft, then I'm presuming that's our problem. So some of you might be able to hear, we've got the power company over the back of the first field, and they're doing something to the power lines over there. So you can probably hear their jackhammer. Okay, so definitely that hole has got schmooze in it. And as you can see, I think it's, oh no, that's better. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, can you see the light going through? It's drilled at an angle. That's actually not blocked, even by aluminium. I thought it was blocked, didn't realise it was drilled sort of at that angle. So, that isn't blocked. Well, I mean, look, that is how small the drilling is for the oilway. That is a tiny hole. Give me a second. Let's bring you a little bit closer. Angle you down. Now I'm going to magnify this by 2.5. See how small that hole is? So oil has to go through here to go down that bigger hole to lubricate that bearing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and an end. Not sure which way oil comes in. I don't know. How does oil get into that cam? Okay, obvious more research to be done, but at least the cap isn't blocked. But I doubt whether that's going to be salvageable. It's pretty, pretty gnarly. At least the cap isn't blocked, and I'm not sure if that's salvageable or not. I think I need to take some advice. So that's it. I think it's a safe assumption that for some reason the cam seized, or certainly dragged enough to cause a failure of the bolt and a failure of the holding pin. I need to double check that the engine can survive having the valves open. And if it can, then this is all repairable. If it can't, do I really want to mess about with it anymore? It would probably be easier to put an exchange engine in it. I don't want to do that, but at least then the job's done and I can recoup some money on the car. At the moment, I'm into it for about 4,500. It's quite a lot. And I'm never going to see that backed out. But there again, I might see 50%, 60% back, you know. So I'm going to have my tea, pack up, go back home, edit this video for you guys, and do a bit of research, and then hopefully I can come back and fill you in on the next step of the L200. Of course, if anybody wants to buy the vehicle off me, you know, contact me through the channel. I'd be more than happy to sell it to you for a reasonable price without an engine. Okay. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.